Coming up next, there's a new video version out of the 1931 classic Frankenstein movie. It contains some previously deleted scenes. We'll look at the new scenes next. One of the great horror films of all time is Frankenstein, directed by James Whale in 1931 from Mary Shelley's novel. It scared millions for more than a half-century and done so with great Gothic style. But some new footage has been discovered by Universal Pictures, and they have included it in a new video disc and videotape version. The new footage runs about a minute and a half and was probably considered too intense for the time, 1931. Let's take a look at the traditional release print of this film, the scene where the monster plays with a little girl. Now, that's how we've known the movie for 57 years, but in one of the restored new sequences, the monster does more than throw flowers in the lake. Obviously, he doesn't know what he's doing. The sweet guy just wants to see if she'll float like the little flowers. And it is kind of sweet. But I guess they were a little bit worried about that at that time, which is sort of strange because 1931 is pre-code.
Yeah.
And yet they pulled that sequence out. And you go right to the peasants dancing in the town. I can see why that scene was removed, although it's perversely charming now to see it. So if you plan on renting Frankenstein, make sure you find the new restored version. It's even more of the classic it has always been.
Well, I enjoyed the restored version, and I enjoyed him throwing the girl into the lake, but I have to ask you something.
Sure.
Isn't this an issue that gets into the same region as colorization? In other words, I don't have anything against movies that are restored when the director was against the original cuts. For example, the restoration of the missing scenes in A Star Is Born.
Correct.
Which George Cukor wanted in the film.
Right.
But is there any evidence that Universal took this out and James Whale wanted it in?
My intuition,
maybe it was simply a cut at the time.
No, my intuition is probably James Whale had enough sense of irony in this film and intelligence as a filmmaker to want to put the sequence in. If he shot it, my assumption, and it's just an assumption, would be that the studio would say, hey, let's take this out. It's a little heavy-handed.
Oh, well, then if that's the case, it's okay with me. But here's the question. There are a lot of so-called restored versions of movies coming out now, and that's one of the ways they're trying to sell discs and tapes is to say, hey, it has missing footage.
Yeah.
Don't you feel that putting in so-called missing footage is just as bad as colorization unless you can prove that it's part of the original vision of the director?
Well, no, I don't think it's as bad. I think it's better if it's the director wanted it that way. I think it's sort of interesting historically as an add-on to say, here's some of the stuff that was let out. I'm so interested in good movies, I'd like to see all of the takes that were never seen.
Yeah, but why couldn't they put these missing scenes on at the end so you could look at them?
That's what I just said. Put them on at the end.
Good idea.